You know, when you look at the Makati skyline these days, it just feels like it's constantly closing in on itself.
Oh yeah, denser, louder.
Exactly, a bit more suffocating. So today, we're looking at one address, Fortis Residences on Chino Roces, and asking, is it really an urban sanctuary or, just another tower?
And we've been digging through the internal project briefs, the infrastructure maps, all of it.
Right, to see what's really behind that exclusive label they're using.
What's interesting right out of the gate is how they're positioning it. They call it a special mixed-use gateway.
Okay, that sounds like a whole lot of classic developer speak. What does that actually mean?
I mean, it is, but it basically means you're not just buying a box to sleep in.
Yeah.
You're entering this whole ecosystem where your home, work, and retail are all on one footprint.
And it's at 2250 Chino Roces Avenue. So let's talk about that spot for a second. Chino Roces has always been, industrial, warehouses, car showrooms. The local government is calling it the Makati Southwest Gateway, saying it'll be this green, pedestrian-friendly hub. But have you tried walking there at rush hour?
It's a scramble.
Yeah.
And that really is the billion peso question, isn't it? Is the area actually ready for this?
So what's the plan?
Well, plan is to mandate green provisions,
Yeah.
wider walkways. But the real why it matters for you isn't just the sidewalk.
It's the grid.
It's the grid. You are 1.8 kilometers from the main Makati CBD, about 6 from BGC. It is transit-oriented in a way few other places are. You're just meters from MRT Magallanes and the PNR station.
So it's about mobility as a form of freedom, really? And we have to mention the heavy hitters that are coming.
The big ones, the Makati Intercity Subway and the Pasig River Expressway.
PRX. And the sources say the subway alone is targeting 700,000 daily passengers, if that actually happens.
The way you move through the city just changes overnight. You're not tied to your car anymore.
Exactly. But it's not just the infrastructure outside the walls, right? It's how the building itself works.
That's the other half of it. DMCI is leaning heavily on this thing they call LumiVent technology.
Okay, let's break that down. I've lived in condos where you can smell exactly what your neighbor 3 doors down is cooking because the hallways have zero airflow.
The dreaded adobo hallway effect.
Does this tech actually stop that?
It does. And here's how.
Yeah.
It's not just a fancy vent. They use sky patios and central atriums to create the chimney effect.
So it's just physics.
It's just physics.
Yeah.
Pulling in natural light and fresh air while pushing the stale hot air out. It's passive cooling, so the building is basically breathing on its own.
That gets into the whole sustainability side, which, can feel like a marketing checkbox sometimes.
It can, but this seems practical. They mention an advanced treatment facility for Class A certified recycled water.
Okay, so for everyone at home, no, you're not drinking it. Class A just means it's safe for skin contact.
Right. Think laundry, flushing, watering plants. But in a city where water interruptions are becoming a real threat, having a building with its own kidneys, let's say.
That's not just green, that's a survivalist luxury.
It's about independence. And that same logic applies to the 100% backup power and the EV charging stations.
As the urban grid gets more strained, power independence is the new high-end amenity.
For sure. And you manage all of it, concierge, billing, even the intercom, through a mobile app. It's making the building a digital service, not just a static structure.
All right, let's get to the part everyone's thinking about, the investment logic. The price is around 200,000 pesos per square meter. That's a massive commitment.
It is.
Is that kind of growth sustainable, or are we looking at a plateau?
Well, if we look at the 10-year track record in the sources, DMCI has seen about 109% growth in price per square meter.
Wow.
When you put that up against the roller coaster of the stock market or, the tiny returns from a savings account, the stability is hard to ignore.
And they're offering bigger unit cuts.
Much bigger. We're talking 3-bedroom units up to 152 square meters. In BGC, or the CBD, you pay a huge premium for that kind of space.
I also saw something about a 102-point inspection. Most developers just hand you the keys and, wish you luck.
That's a crucial detail. They check everything from tile alignment to electrical load before you move in, and they give you a 2-year warranty.
That's double the industry standard.
Exactly. It shows they're confident the building won't start falling apart once the brochures are gone.
So it paints a picture of this low-density life. Fewer units per floor, which means you're not waiting all morning for an elevator.
Right. You've got the skydeck pool, views from Manila Bay to Laguna de Bay, but it feels more like a private club than a crowded tower.
It all comes back to that one address, endless possibilities idea. You get the premium Makati zip code, but with architecture that's actually designed for the future.
For the challenges of 21st century urban living.
So we've looked at the connectivity, the breathing tech, the investment numbers. But as the Makati subway and PRX start to reshape how the city flows, here's a final thought to mull over. In a decade, what will we value more in a property? Its square footage or its ability to function as an independent, sustainable ecosystem within that urban jungle?